Hello there, Monstars. Welcome to our next flip video. This flip video is on area of a two-dimensional shape. So when we're talking about area is the amount of space inside the shape. So perimeter was the outside, and now we're going to be talking about the amount of space on the inside of the shape. When we are talking about area, we're going to be dealing with units. In particular, we're going to be dealing with square units. We see square units when we're making our Build-A-Town. In our Build-A-Towns, we make our buildings on grids, and inside of our grids we show square units. So we're going to use that same concept to help us identify area of rectangles. So on your whisk, I'd like you to draw this rectangle. Make sure that your rectangle has a width of 3. And it has a length of 4. And we're going to imagine that we're drawing this rectangle on our Build-A-Town map. So it's going onto a grid, so we need to draw in our grids. So if we have a width of 3, how many rows will we have? You're right, we'll have 3 rows. So we're going to draw in 3 rows. How many columns will we have? Yes, we'll have 4 columns. And we know that when we were working with perimeter, we used this tool to help us identify that the width on the right-hand side was 3, and the length of the bottom was 4. And that was when we were doing perimeter and going around the outside of the shape. But now we're working with area. We want to know how many square units take up the space on the inside of our rectangle. So let's count them. Let's start at the top. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 across the top. In the middle row we have 5, 6, 7, 8. And the bottom makes 9, 10, 11, and 12. So how many square units took up the space on the inside of the shape? You're right, we had 12 square units. And we can abbreviate square units by writing SQ period. And then units is, we can do UN for short. Okay, let's try another one. All right, on this rectangle, it's 4 units wide and it's 6 units long. I want you to pause the video. I want you to draw in your square units, and I want to see if you can determine the area of this shape. How many square units make up the inside of this shape? Push pause and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, Monstars, what'd you come up with? We should have found that a 4x6 rectangle has an area of 24 square units. You also may have discovered a trick when you're dealing with area. Remember way back when we were talking about making arrays of multiplication equations? And if we were making a 4x6 array, we would go through and we would go 4 units down, right? 4 rows of 6 units. And we use that to represent a multiplication equation. And that equation was 4 groups of 6. The same concept works when we're dealing with area. If you see a 4x6 rectangle and you need to determine the area, you can take the width, which is 4, and you can multiply it by the length to get your area of 24. That's a shortcut, so you don't have to draw out all of your units. All right, I'm going to give you a rectangle now, and on this rectangle, I'm going to tell you that the width is 5 units, and the length is 8 units. You can draw your square units in, or you can use the shortcut that we just learned of taking your width times your length. I want you to pause the video and then push play when you're ready. Let's see what you came up with. Okay, we're going to use the shortcut to solve this problem. So if we have 5 as our width and 8 as our length, rather than drawing in all of our square units, we can take our width, which is 5, and multiply that by our length, which is 8, to get our area. What is 5 groups of 8? You're right. That's 40 square units. All right, and now it's time for our joke. My joke for you today is, what does the nosy pepper do? What does the nosy pepper do? It's a good question. It's a really good joke. Miss Howell helped me find this one today. So make sure that your whisk is complete. It's due on Thursday, and have a great night.